Hey guys, it's Tony again with Backwoods Biker Magazine. Okay, so I'm not an underwear model, but you know what I am in spite of it being 32 degrees? I'm warm. Hang tight to find out why. Alright, welcome back to the channel. With the weather changing like it is here in the fall in the Midwest, I wanted to bring something to your attention because all of us that ride want to extend our riding season, and we also like to start it early in the spring as soon as the ice is off the roads. And you know, traditionally speaking, you know, what we've done is we've all bundled up, you know, sometimes wearing heavy coveralls and all kinds of gear, you know, and you feel like the Michelin man. You can't even move on your bike hardly at all, much less if you've got gear that you're trying to pack out somewhere and want to go hunting or do a little winter camping. Well, you know, the way that we've combated that is that we use different insulated products, whether it is layering with an outer shell and secondary and then a tertiary layer. You know, we've learned that there's a few things that we've learned about staying warm when you're on a motorcycle. You know, number one, cotton is your enemy. Any type of cotton that you put up against your skin in the wintertime will cause you to get super cold, and the reason is cotton doesn't breathe right. It holds moisture. It'll make you sweat. It'll hold moisture up against your body, and in cold temperatures, hypothermia is going to settle in, and you're going to be one cold puppy on that bike. And if you've ever done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, several years ago, they came out with a synthetic poly type of long john underwear that everybody ran and purchased. You can buy these. This is a kind of a heavy to mid-weight product that everybody carries, you know, and this is a poly product. It's a polyester product. This one's made by Work of Sport. I've worn these for a long time, and they do keep me warm, but the truth of the matter is they'll make me sweat, and they don't wick near as well as what they need to, and I can end up getting cold because of these, you know. And these are relatively cheap, you know, so that cuts down on your riding ability, you know. And then last year someone suggested that we reach out to some companies that produced merino wool products, and at that time I was not very familiar with them at all, but we got some of these products in our hands and we've been using them throughout the year. I've got some lightweight products that I use in the spring and in the summer from a company that is called Minus 33. And they also sent me some expedition weight, and that's what I'm wanting to talk to you about today. I'll mention those other products too, just to kind of hip you to them, but what you saw me wearing at the beginning of this video was expedition weight top and bottoms. And expedition weight means that it's about as heavy as you get when it comes to merino wool. I really can't show you too much here in regards to how thick this is, but it is it's pretty thick. Now, here's the difference. This isn't like your grandpa's old school scratch you to death type of wool, all right? This isn't even like the best finest wool that you've ever seen in your life, that you spend a lot of money for a sweater, you know, like cashmere or something like that, you know. Merino wool is from the sheep, the merino sheep that are raised in Australia, and I think they're now introducing here to the United States. But this is some of the super soft and very, very warm, toasty long john style underwear that is great for riding on a motorcycle, because you can hardly even tell that it's there. It's naturally flexible, you know, and very, very resilient. I've got some things here that I'm going to be reading to you here. You know, fire resistant is another one. This one blew my mind. You know, this product right here, if you get near the fire with this, it will melt and stick to your skin. Merino wool doesn't do that because it self-extinguishes. Now, I'm not saying you can roll off in the fire and dance around in this and it won't burn you, because, you know, that's kind of stupid. But you get close to the fire, which I have with these, they will not catch fire. And if they happen to start to smolder, they self-extinguish right away. So that's great. Another thing is, you know, I'm not too worried about the UV protection, but they do provide great UV protection. This will give you like a 50 to 51 UV protection, but you know, this is always going to be under something anyway, so that really doesn't matter to me. But what does is that when merino wool gets wet, it still insulates. Yes, it's going to be wet, but it is going to keep you warm. If you happen to be out on a hunt, you fall in the water and you are wearing merino wool underwear underneath you, merino wool anything, especially the underwear. I just want to keep talking about this because this is a great product. What happens is that you stay warm because it wicks so well, and then the heat from your body helps to dry this out over a period of time. It will dry under your skin, but while it's drying, you still don't get wet. So what's that translate into? That means when you're riding down the highway, let's say 60 miles an hour, we'll just keep it right there. At 60 miles an hour, when it's 40 degrees, your skin will feel like that it's 20 degrees or even less. If you're wearing a pair of Levi's, if you're wearing a pair of riding pants, you know, even leathers, you get cold. You get cold very, very quick. This underwear, and you're going to be getting off your bike early in the season, early in the winter season. This type of underwear, the Expedition Weight, is going to keep you warm, very, very warm, and extend your riding season, okay? Now, it's just not the top and the bottom that I'm talking about. As you see here in these pictures that I'm going to show you, there are two companies that I dealt with. Well, really three companies that I dealt with on different levels. Minus 33 was a company. Wool X is another company. And then the third company is North by North. Now, what I looked at from Minus 33 was an Expedition Weight shirt and an Expedition Weight bottom. Those are the things I've been talking about. But I also looked at some of their mid-weight products. One was a shirt, a long sleeve shirt with a zipper pull, halfway zipper pull, that I would recommend for someone that has, you know, a merino wool t-shirt. You know, I'm big on this merino wool now. But if you got a t-shirt on and you put on this zippered sweater, it can take you into the early spring, up, you know, to the beginning, almost late spring, early summer, before you start to get uncomfortably warm with these, and then you got to vent it open. That was a great product from them. Also, you'll see here the socks and the underwear that's here, and the hooded neck gaiter. That is great for riding in the winter time for obvious reasons. It covers up everything except your nose, and really you can close it up. You still have to wear a hat, and I know there are companies out there that do sell skull caps made out of merino wool. They're very, very good. From Wool X, we received an Expedition Weight shirt, and it's just as good as this one. They're very, very similar in weight. They're very similar in performance. But they also sent me some mid-weight long underwear, shirt and slacks. They were good for me from the late spring, probably close to, you know, I would say early spring, really. Early spring to late spring, because you get into summer, you don't need those. You know, the Expedition Weight is when it's really cold, okay? And then also, I took a look at a couple of their t-shirts that were great for wearing during the summertime because they wick so well, and they do have UV protection even on their lightweight stuff. what I saw from a company from North by North X. He sent me a hooded neck gaiter, and he also sent me a kerchief. The hooded neck gaiter didn't do quite well from North by North because it really stretched out and opened up, and you're riding down the highway and you turn into a balloon. Even with a hat, you know, a skull cap like this that I often wear when I'm out on the bike. You know, you got to have something that's tight, and the one from -33, it stays tight on your face, all around your head, and it comes down neck gaiter and goes up under, you know, your garments. Sure, you're going to stay very, very warm. Now, is this stuff just for bikers? No. Hunters right now, you know, every time that I've been out hunting this fall, I've wore the merino wool. I've stayed warm as toast. I've got it on my feet. I've got it on my, you know, my bottoms. I got it on my top, and I also have a secondary type of layer that I wear, the zipper pulled one that I told you about, and then I've got a light jacket on top of that. That's the benefit of this. If you dress right underneath and then layer up, you've got a third of the clothing that you normally would when you go out hunting or go out riding. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because a couple of you asked me, you know, what do I do to combat the cold? Well, my new go-to product is merino wool, and the two companies that I can tell you with the clothing is -33 and Wool X. They're two great companies. Now, is it cheap stuff? No. You know, this here, I think this particular top runs about $19, whereas this particular top from either company runs about $100, and the bottoms are about the same. Yes, it's expensive, but this is a one-time purchase that truly will last you a lifetime. That's no BS. It'll last you a lifetime. You take care of it, and it's easy to take care of. Very, very easy to take care of. The other product that I wanted to mention from North by North is a kerchief that's about 36 by 36. It is 100% merino wool. It feels like a silk scarf, but you can use it for a schmog. You can use it for a sling. You can use it to carry wood out of the forest. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can use a kerchief for. Just look it up on Google. It's great. So that's all I'm going to say about these products. I appreciate you watching our channel, appreciate your input and your emails and all the good stuff that you do for us. Go out there to these companies. All three of them are good companies, and I highly recommend, you know, if you're looking for a top and a bottom, go check out -33. Go check out Wool X. You won't be disappointed with either company, and I got to tell you, they're both great people to work with at both companies. So till next time, you ride free, you live free. If you like the channel, subscribe. See ya.